This is a remarkable moment because we don't often get our Vancouver bureau chief, our CFL host, our CFL analyst, our college football analyst. This guy does it all. It's Farhan Lalji, and we're thrilled to have you here. Plus, you're Ryan Rashog's best friend. I'm surprised you're not just hanging out with him in Florida. But we're thrilled to have you here. We got to talk CFL. Week 1's in the books. Going into that game on Sunday between the Argos and Lions, Farhan, a lot of talk about the quarterbacks, and we'll get to the quarterbacks. But it was Toronto's D that really stepped up in that fourth quarter. How'd they hold BC to just the 7 points in the second half? Well,
their pass rush got after it, Jay. And that's the thing with this team because, you know, we can talk all about Chad Kelly, his last year's MOP and all of this. But when I think of the Toronto Argos a year ago, I think of them as an outstanding defensive football team led by their D-line. And this is a group that flipped half its defensive roster. That's the amazing part. I mean, 6 starters are gone from that group, but they kept some key guys in the front 6 and 6 sacks. 5 of them came in the second half of this game, and BC was up by 14 at one point. It looked like they were going to, you know, just put this thing away. They get some pressure on Vernon Adams, gets a deflected ball, throws an interception, and that keeps Cameron Dukes, you know, in a good position at midfield. He gets a chance to get his team back in the game. So that defense really took over and had Vernon running for his life throughout the second half.
So let's talk about Cameron Dukes. Let's talk about Vernon Adams. First of all, your friend and my friend, our mutual friend Milt Stegall, and myself believe that Vernon will be the most outstanding player this year. Let's put that aside. I want to know what your expectations are for Vernon Adams. But first, what are your expectations for Cameron Dukes?
I love Cameron Dukes. You know, I think this guy's got a lot of moxie, and I love the way that he plays on the run, right? And I know that his quarterback coach in the Vancouver area really spends a lot of time on splash throws and trying to get your body in the right position when you take off and get on the run. And you can see that in this game. You saw that in the preseason. There was one game where he just went inside and sidestepped a defender and made a really nice pass for a touchdown. And he has the ability to do that. He's got the ability to extend plays, get on the edge, still keep his eyes downfield, and put his body in good positions to throw. So, look, I know he went to a small school, and I know he's got big shoes to fill, but I think he's a really, really good football player. And I think by the end of this, at 9 games, whether Chad Kelly comes back or not, there might be some conversation about who should be the starting quarterback for the Toronto Argos. I don't think you're going to see a significant drop-off. It's going to be a different type of offense because of Cameron Dukes' legs, but I think this guy's a really good player, and he plays a aesthetically pleasing style. Fans are going to love this kid.
What about Vernon? Do you fully believe he'll be MOP this year, just as Milt and I do? Can you make it a trifecta?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming into the year, I think this is Vernon's time, you know, and he's a confident kid, and this matters a lot to him. And from a Lions perspective, this really is Grey Cup or bust, and the team has been set up that way, but Vernon's going to need some help with that offensive line because, look, Toronto did this to a lot of teams last year, but BC had some questions around its offensive line, especially in the middle of this offensive line coming into the year, and it doesn't look to me like they've addressed those in a meaningful way. So if this doesn't get better, it's going to make it hard for Vernon. He's got some newer receivers. You know, they got to get comfortable working together, but in order to have that, your O-line needs to do its part. But for me, Vernon's ready to take that step.
Week 1 in the books. Farhan, you can come by anytime you want.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Where's the Onrait limo? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think it's outside somewhere. It's in 2015 SUV.
You don't even have water in these cups. Like, you can't get a limo if you can't get water.
Can't get anything.